Hey, it's CosmoB, and today I'm gonna show you how to set up Raw Accel. A lot of people ask me, why do you even use mouse acceleration? I thought mouse acceleration was bad, you know? Everyone is like, bro, turn off mouse accel. Mouse accel is gonna ruin your aim and this and that. Listen, with anything, there's a good side and there's a bad side. With mouse acceleration, the bad side is Windows pointer precision and like every other built-in mouse acceleration in every video game. Well, except maybe for Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's not the worst. Yeah. It's still dog shit, but it's not the worst. Now, I'm gonna show you, right, that mouse acceleration is good. Why? Because you can customize it. That's what RawAccel is. It's a awesome program that let you customize your mouse acceleration, and it's anti-cheat friendly. Remember that, anti-cheat friendly. I've been using this program for half a year, and it's amazing. Now I'll show you a quick demo of what it can do. You know, so let's say you want low base sense to hit headshots and then a high accelerated sense to turn around. Now I will explain a low base sense later, and I will explain all the terminologies I use later. Now just look on your screen, focus on this. Long range headshots, baby. Yeah. And he's like, okay, that's a low sensitivity, right? It's gonna be easy. Now, let's try turning around. Alright, I'm gonna show you how I turn around. I think you get what I mean by now. Basically, mouse acceleration will enable you to have a low sensitivity and high sensitivity. That is the explain portion over. Now, fair warning before you actually go and dive into this. Mouse acceleration is a rabbit hole. I actually, you know what? Don't fucking touch mouse acceleration. You know, forget everything I said. Just go back to your daily life, because if you actually want to have good results with mouse acceleration, you need to put in a lot of work, like a lot of work, to not only find your graph, but to actually develop your aim. For me at least, it took me almost daily deathmatch for 2 months to find my graph and what I was comfortable with. I'll show my settings later, but be warned, it would take you a lot of time. Alright boys, on the desktop now. So basically this is gonna be the folder once you download it. You're gonna download RawAccel in the description below. And you don't know how to download RawAccel in this weird looking UI, whatever the hell? Well, just scroll down here, click on this. And you click on this. And click on this. And you're Gucci, man. You Gucci. You download that. Download that, right? Extract it to a folder. And this is what you're gonna see. Now, firstly, run the installer. You need to run the installer. Open up the UI after you restarted your PC. You're gonna see something like maybe I need to just go to the linear. Here we go. Something like this. You know, when you first open up, it's probably gonna be on linear with these settings. First, I'm gonna explain things, and then I'm gonna teach you how to customize your RawAccel. First, sense multiply. Just leave it at 0.5. Just use a high DPI, something like 1200, 1600, and just leave it at 0.5. Don't test. Don't even try and test it with other DPI. Just trust me. 1200 or 1600. Choose one of the two DPI. Just choose them and move on. Now before you do anything, make sure again your DPI in here, right? Your DPI in here, 1600. And also your pull rate. Maybe you have like a 500 hertz mouse. Still some fucking hell. And then change this. And you should click apply. You should be Gucci. XY ratio. So this basically means accelerate your aim horizontally different from your vertical aim, and just don't touch it. It's even worse. Rotation. No, actually rotation should be really useful. But I don't use it because my flicks, they're pretty much on point. For me at least, in Counter-Strike, when I turn around, my crosshair is still at head level. I teach myself that. But if you want to use rotation, there will be a video in the description, right? I will link in the description to help you find your rotation value. But I don't use it. Now the graph. Now this is the biggest, like most impactful thing, other than the actual acceleration itself and the cap. the graph. Now, linear. Start off with linear, and maybe I would maybe say go to jump. This is what the jump graph would look like. And maybe go to natural afterwards once you're comfortable with mouse acceleration. Now, I explain what the graph does and you know, whatever for you right now. Okay. Acceleration. How fast your mouse or you know your sensitivity accelerate towards a certain cap. What is a cap? A cap is how much your sensitivity is gonna be multiplied for. Now let's say the cap is 2 times, right? That means that with 1600 dpi in a sense multiplier of 0.5, right? You're gonna have 800 eDPI. Your sense right now is 800 eDPI. That is your base sense right now. And your accelerated sensitivity, again, your max sensitivity is gonna be 2 times that, which means 1600. 1600 eDPI. Now, that is quite high, but let's say you have a moderate amount of acceleration, you know, maybe 0.08, something like that, right? Your mouse would move towards, that cap very slowly. You can look at, you know, the sensitivity graph here. You see that? See this? You see the gain? It's gonna move towards this cap right here very slowly. So unless you flick your mouse super hard, it won't reach the cap, right? Or let's say you don't want your cap to be 2x, you want your cap to be 1.5x, and just enter that in, and you can see, you know, the point where it cuts off here, where it doesn't accelerate your mouse or your sensitivity anymore, is earlier in the graph down here in the game. Now, input sensitivity. This is very important for beginners, because a lot of people are not used to mouse acceleration yet, so I would recommend you put on input offset. What does input offset mean? It's gonna put a valley or a horizontal line into your graph. You see these humps? You see these humps that these graph have? Yeah, only when the red dot, you can put this here. You show the red dot with this. But when you're gaming, be sure to turn off the UI, because the UI would hog a lot of resources. Maybe if you're in deathmatch or testing out, you know, mouse acceleration and aimbots, you can have this on, running in the background. But in game, you should turn it off. It takes up like 10% CB usage. So, what input offset does is add a valley, right? Add a valley to your graph. As this valley. Now, for this certain amount, right? For this certain amount, like you see my mouse moving. For this amount of velocity, you know, for this velocity where I move my mouse slowly, it's not gonna apply any acceleration, right? So for beginners, if you want to line something up slowly, your acceleration is not going to kick in unless you start flicking. And unless you start flicking, see this? Unless you start flicking, your acceleration is not gonna kick in. This is especially useful for beginners who are not used to mouse acceleration yet. So you can move your mouse slowly, and the acceleration won't fuck up your lineup aim. You know, where you line up your shot, okay? But for me, I set this at 0, because for me, it's weird having it on a positive value. Like even at 1 or 2, it still feels weird. For me at least. I'm just weird like that. I'm built different. Now, I'm gonna show you how to calculate base sensitivity. Oh fuck, I mean,
what the hell? Oh my god, no
mouse sensitivity. Yeah. Okay, go to mousesensitivity.com, and what you're gonna do is scroll down. And you're gonna scroll down and select the game that you currently play. For me, it's gonna be Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I play CSGO almost exclusively, right? So, as you can see, the DPI here, make sure it's half of what you chose, right? Let's say you choose 1600 DPI. Half that, which is 800, right? Because again, you have the sensitivity inside RawAccel. Inside RawAccel, you have it at 0.5. So remember, if you use it 1600, the perceived DPI is gonna be 800 or the sensitivity, or what it's gonna be. Just basically it's 800 right now, and if you use 1200, it's gonna be 600 right now. Now you're gonna input your distance, right? So how much do you want your base sensitivity? Like how much does your base sensitivity needs to take to have like to get you a full 360? What I mean by this is, let's say, I'll go back to sensitivity here. A lot of people play with 800 DPI 1x in Counter-Strike. That is a value of 52 centimeters for a 360. My base sense, again, base sense is 1.04, and that is a value of 50 centimeters for a 360. Exactly, well, not exactly, but close enough. 50 centimeter for a 360. Now you might wonder, how do you calculate your 360 distance, or maybe just get one. You don't know what a 360 distance is. Well, you can go up here, convert from distance, and type in this 30 centimeter for a 360, and you're gonna get this sensitivity. All right, so if you use this exact sensitivity, you're gonna get a 360 at 30 centimeters, right? Your 360 is gonna be 30 centimeters, which is a full turn, right? Let's say you want a lower base sense, because you're a low sense player, then you're gonna use this sensitivity with 800 DPI to have a 360 distance value 60. You want 60, use this sense. For me, mine is 50 for 360. Now you might be like, how do I know my accelerated sense? How much per 360 that is? Is it 50 centimeters? Is it whatever? Okay, I'm gonna show you how to calculate it now. You're gonna set it back to sensitivity, right? And double what you had. So for me, right, it was 1.04. I double it to 2.08. Now my 360 value is 25 centimeter. 25. Now, what if I want this at 30? What if I want this at 30? I'm gonna show you how to calculate this scientifically now. It's gonna be hard to follow, but trust me, this is accurate. What you're gonna set the convert from is gonna be distance again. Set your 360 value for your accelerated sense. Take the sensitivity, right? Take the sensitivity and open up, a calculator. You just go onto Google here, type this in. So that it's this value. This is your accelerated EDPI, your max cap of 30 centimeter, right? 30 centimeter. This is your 30 centimeter EDPI 360. You're gonna take this value and divide it by your base sense. What is your base sense again? Well, we need to calculate your base sense. Let's copy this real quick, right? And calculate your base sense again. What was your base sense? 800 times 1.04, right? This is your base sense. You're gonna divide this value. You're gonna divide this value, right, by your base sense, which is 832. You get this. You're gonna enter this value, or simplify it, 1.666, into your RawAccel program. So now your max cap, this cap right here, is gonna be so now the cap, your accelerated mouse cap, accelerated sensitivity cap, is gonna be 30 centimeter per 360. I know it's hard to follow, but trust me, the math works. So yeah, that is how you use RawAccel. It's very long-winded, it's everything super confusing, but you work it out eventually. And if you have any trouble, you can comment down below and I'll help you with it. Yeah, I know this video is very long, but it contains almost every single bit of information I have about RawAccel. Information on the internet about Raw Accel is very little, so a lot of these are just self-taught, right? Self-taught. So it might seem confusing because I don't know how to teach it to another person, but I know it works. I know for a fact that it works. So if you have any trouble, you can comment down below and I'll help you with it. So yeah, thanks for watching this very long video. It's hard to explain, so yeah. Stay awesome. I'll see you around.
Hey, keep cooking the
And sorry for being sick.
I just flashed up